The first episode begins with the gods eagerly awaiting the selection of the chosen one for the S-rank world-saving mission. The goddess of restoration, Jita, is the lucky one tasked with this responsibility. Outwardly, she is happy and confident that she will complete it quickly to become a true goddess. However, deep down, she is frustrated and rushes home to lament the extreme difficulty of the mission. Jita was born in the world about 100 years ago, and since then she has summoned heroes from Earth to save suffering worlds 5 times. Compared to other gods, Jita's achievements are like a shrimp next to a lobster. By the way, an S-rank difficulty means that the world is so terrifying that even seasoned gods are daunted. As usual, she carefully selected candidates from Japan, as the theme of reincarnation and isekai with demon lord storylines is very popular there, making it easier for Jita to explain the situation to the candidates. The selection process was exhausting for Jita because she could only choose one person to summon to the world as a hero, so she had to be very cautious. However, no matter how many candidates she reviewed, they all seemed the same, which made Jita frustrated. In a moment of carelessness, she fell to the floor, and a candidate's application accidentally hit her face, nearly suffocating her. Upon closer inspection, Jita was surprised to find that the stats of the candidate named Zara were incredibly high. He was a rare talent, 1 in 100 million. She believed that with him, the mission to defeat the demon lord would be as easy as pie, and she would soon ascend to the rank of a great goddess. Excited, she rushed to the summoning room, drew the magic circle, and performed the spell to summon Zara. He appeared immediately, a cool and impressive young man. Jita quickly fixed her hair and had a brief daydream about a romantic relationship between them, but then she quickly snapped back to reality, remembering that gods and mortals couldn't have such relationships. She then introduced herself as a goddess to Zira. "You are the chosen one to become the hero and save the world of Gabon from the demon lord," Jita declared. Seeing Zara standing there, silently staring at her, she thought he was mesmerized by her divine beauty. However, when Zara opened his mouth, he asked, "Why did some crazy person suddenly appear and start talking nonsense?" Jita tried to keep her composure and introduced herself again, but Zira questioned why she, as a goddess, didn't just save the world herself, as it would be faster. Jita explained that there were rules in place preventing deities from directly intervening in the human world. Zira quickly asked about the right to refuse, the right to act independently, and the possibility of changing the rules. However, Jita firmly denied all of these options. Thinking he was just confused, she asked Zira to try stating his status to see his abilities in terms of stats. Zira sighed and said he would check his attributes himself, but Jita insisted that he say them aloud. Reluctantly, Zira complied, giving in to her pleas. Zira's stats were several times higher than those of ordinary heroes, making him the chosen one to defeat the Demon King. When Zira asked what would happen if he ended up in another world, Jita reassured him that he would only be transported back to his own world. However, Zira was skeptical and didn't fully trust Jita's words. To convince him, Jita opened a portal to show him the new world, but Zira refused, stating that only a fool would willingly enter an unknown world without any knowledge. Desperate, Jita pleaded with him, assuring him that she would be there to support him. Suddenly, Zira pinned Jita against the wall and laid out his conditions. Seeing Zira take off his shirt, Jita initially thought he was about to make a romantic move, but it turned out he just wanted to do push-ups until he felt ready to go. It was then that Jita remembered Zira was an extremely cautious person, a detail she had overlooked. Frustrated, Jita vented to her senior, the ceiling goddess Aja. Although Aja advised that being cautious wasn't a bad thing, Jita felt that Zira was wasting time. Aja reassured her that time in the divine realm moved differently, and that the real issue was making sure Zira was well supported. She suggested that Jita should focus on providing better care for Zira, noting that his current accommodations were lacking basic amenities like a proper shower, toilet, and bed. Before Jita could leave, Aya reminded her not to act superior towards Zira but to treat him as a friend. Taking this advice to heart, Jita hurried back and was immediately hit by the strong smell of durian coming from Zira's room, making her mouth water. However, she realized it wasn't her place to complain since it was her home, not his. Thinking Zira might be hungry, Jita kindly brought him some rice balls. Suspicious, Zira insisted Jita eat first, fearing she might have drugged the With no other option, Jita went to set up a shower and bed for him, still puzzled about how doing sit-ups could improve his stats. She decided to leave the rice balls outside Zira's door, hoping he would eat them later. Jita told Zira to ring the bell with her picture on it whenever he felt ready. Zira, however, was wary, thinking it might be a trick or a way to spy on him. Thus, Jita left in frustration. Days passed, and after waiting 4 days with no sign of the bell ringing, she grew increasingly concerned that something might have happened to Zira. Despite this, she found that Zira had eaten all the food left outside his door. When the bell finally rang, she was thrilled and hurried to find Zira. Just then, Zira had just finished showering. Putting aside her feelings, Jita asked about his training progress. To her surprise, Zira had leveled up rapidly just from his intense physical training. Moreover, Zira also learned new skills, and though he wanted to max out his level, Jita couldn't wait. She opened the portal to Gabon, and once Zira felt ready, she pulled him through. The first task was to find equipment for Zera in the town of Azona. As they walked, Jita greeted the friendly townspeople. Zera was confused by her casual attitude while wearing such revealing clothes, and began to suspect the old man they met might be a disguised monster, which annoyed Jita. A little girl, impressed by Jita's goddess-like appearance, was amazed and made her happy. The girl also thought Zera looked cool, asked his name, and introduced herself as Nina. Since Jita was busy, she asked Nina for the location of the town's equipment shop. She gave Zera a large amount of money to buy the best gear available. Upon entering the shop, Zera immediately decided to buy 3 sets of armor. One to wear, one as a backup, and one as a backup for the backup. Unable to stand his indecision, Jita decided to choose the equipment for him. She helped Zera get a cool-looking set that made him appear more heroic. Zera then spent the remaining money on smoke bombs and herbs, wanting to be as prepared as possible since he didn't know what kind of monsters they might encounter. Jita reassured him not to worry, as she had chosen a town suitable for beginners as their starting point. However, Zera, being cautious, couldn't fully trust Jita's abilities. Nina quickly reassured Zera, saying that she could easily reach the neighboring town alone because there was nothing dangerous around, only slimes. Seeing Jita calling Zera a coward, Nina kindly gave him a lucky charm. Zera, suspicious, thought it might be a cursed item, making Jita cover his mouth. Just then, Nina's father appeared, apologizing for his daughter bothering them. Seeing Zera carefully store the charm away, Jita realized he wasn't as bad as she thought. It was time for them to go defeat monsters to level up. Luckily, a slime appeared just in time. However, Zera hid behind a rock, thinking it was a dangerous mutant creature. Jada had to explain that the low-level slime monsters were so weak that even an average person with a stick could take them down. Zera, wanting to demonstrate his strength, unsheathed his sword and used a powerful atomic slash to eliminate the nearby slime. To ensure it wouldn't regenerate, he even used hellfire to incinerate it completely. Not taking any chances, Zera continued to spam skills until he felt satisfied. Annoyed, Jita told him to use his analysis skill to check the slime's stats before overreacting. However, Zera, even knowing the slime was weak, didn't trust the system's information. Jita was about to suggest moving to the next town when suddenly they felt a menacing presence. A powerful aura appeared, and a figure introduced themselves as Machina, one of the 4 heavenly kings of the Demon Lord's army. The Demon Lord had detected the summoning of a hero, and had sent Machina to patrol areas with low-level monsters to ambush them. Machina knew Zera was as dangerous as the hidden warriors in many legendary tales, so she decided to eliminate him immediately. Jita used her analysis skill and was shocked by Machina's incredibly high stats. While Jita was contemplating a battle strategy, Zera decided that running away was the best plan. Zera used a smoke bomb to obscure Machina's vision and then carried Jita to dodge Machina's slash. They decided to retreat to the Divine Realm to avoid danger. Machina wasn't about to let them escape, but Jita tripped, causing them to evade the attack. Zera quickly used hellfire to slow Machina down, and Jita managed to push them through a portal. Jita ended up lying on top of Zera, thinking they might kiss, but instead, he tossed her aside like trash. Zera urged Jita to leave so he could continue training, as Machina was far stronger than the weak slime they'd encountered earlier.